Welcome to TradingLounge and the European indices. We'll cover the DAX, the AEX, and the UK. And the DAX here is a little vibrating, a little bit like the S&P 500 at the moment. And we're looking for one more little move to the upside on the S&P, and we can probably expect that here too. But I must say that I would just be going into the guessing game, because this particular structure through here, where we're counting 5 waves to get to this intermediate 3-wave top here, like we're looking at in the US as well, is a little bit messy. So look, you'll have to trade what you see, and if you see strength above the 13,000, you certainly want to be above that. And then you can also use group 1 there, which was 13,003, as a group 1 of micro degree, and you can build up from that point there as well, and then use the sub levels, which would be 10, 20, and 30. So yes, this is a little bit messy in here, but I'm assuming we got one more little move to the upside here before we see a correction down here. So we've pretty much sort of done our trade from this point to this point, or in here, wherever it may have been. But we're just really waiting for this to top out and correct, and we'll be looking for short positions once we've traded above here, and then once the market locks back under here again. So in a bit of a nutshell here, we'd be looking for, if the market, let's just assume that the market moves up, okay, and then let's just assume for a moment the market moves down. Obviously it's going to bounce off this large number 13,000 here, and like a ball bouncing, it will eventually move through here. But when it does move through, it's going to retest back up here, and then that's when we put that's our reference point below that, and then we look for that short trade there, and the stop goes above here. But I'll try and get the count for this, because the stop may have to go a little bit higher as well. So we'll be looking for a move down. So we want to see this in the S&P 500 as well. Now the AEX is sort of similar, and I've made a few adjustments here. I said our target was 546, and I think I did, and probably brought in the idea of 548 here as well. I also have made a change here as well. I had wave 4 sitting over here. I think that it's better sitting here looking at the cash market, so it'd be a good idea to have a look at the cash market as well. But in the cash market, in a nutshell, we're looking for wave 1 and 2 that's done and dusted, and now we're looking for wave 3 to take us into 548 here, and then a small correction here, and then further to the upside here. So we're looking for more of a move here than in the DAX. But if this is going to travel up here, then the DAX will probably go a little bit higher as well. Okay, now the UK market is the same but different, and I've made a few adjustments here as well. Not changing the beginning of the trend here, but we've had wave 4 here, and we looked at this being wave 1. This is a 4-hour chart, beg your pardon. Wave 2, then wave 1 and wave 2 here, and wave 1 and 2. So none of that's changed, and our entry hasn't changed, and that's all fine. But I'm a little bit lost up in this little section here at the moment. It's a little bit difficult for me to figure it out and give you a very clear pathway here. What I can say though is that there is a beginning of a trend, which is the building process of the 1s and 2s. Then it's the middle of the trend here, when traders recognize that, well, there's a trend happening, and then there's the end of the trend, so the beginning, the middle, and the end. And so we're in the later stages of the trend, but as I've mentioned before, I just don't think it's over just yet for this particular market here. So I think it's still got further to go to the upside here. But if the other European markets are not going to be moving much, then this may just stagnate here as such as well. So what I could say on the intraday basis is that 7,550 and the 50 is what we call the midpoint here. If that becomes the tested support, then you can trade long from that point. But otherwise be a little bit careful, because this little pattern that's happening in here at the moment, I don't understand it. And if it was going to move down, it would move down to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree and then move up here. So you would need to see tested support on this, on this. I'm overreacting here on this, but basically you can see that it's resistance, can't you, at the moment? If it sits up there as support, then you need to trade what you see, and then you will need to trade upwards at that point there. But I'm just a little bit unsure about this little pattern in here, so I'm not very helpful with that. So my solution, when I don't know what's going on with Elliott, I always revert back to the trading levels, and the closest largest number is the midpoint here. So that, as tested support, is the basis for the long trade to the upside. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.